Good evening everyone and welcome to today's live stream. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Daniel Armstrong and thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream, where today we have a very interesting matchup. We have Real Mallorca facing up against Celta Vigo away at a very complicated and interesting stadium. We're here at the Estadio Abanaca Balaidos, where Real Mallorca are going to be facing a tough opponent. Just about 17 minutes to go from kickoff. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's YouTube Play Red live channel. I'm going to be your English commentator for today. We have plenty to talk about before kickoff here in the YouTube Play Red channel. We're going to go through the pre-kickoff, then we're going to be doing a live commentary match, and then we'll talk a bit post matchup. Again, if you are new to the YouTube Play Red channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure to leave a like and turn on push notifications. Now, right away, let's get right into it. We've definitely had an interesting week here on the La Liga table. It's been some interesting matchups. We've had some very interesting results, to say the least. Very unpredictable ones. We've had Osasuna beating Real Madrid. We have had Real Sociedad draw against Oviedo 3-3. Again, we've had some brilliant matches this week. It really has been a goal fest in the La Liga division, and hopefully we have another exciting one out here today. And just looking at the stats, just looking at the facts, I think we are going to have an interesting one, and honestly, a very close one. Now let's get right into it and talk about last time out for Real Mallorca, where they faced up against Real Betis. Real Mallorca suffered a narrow home defeat in their latest La Liga outing, with Betis edging the game and grabbing all of the 3 points. Real Mallorca struggled to convert the chances and ultimately couldn't overturn the deficit, leaving them still fighting to climb up the table. So a disappointing result last time out at the Sunmarsh Stadium at home, where a match that Real Mallorca realistically had to win to crawl out of that relegation zone. And if you do follow Real Mallorca, if you have been a fan this season, you know how it's been going, and you know how every match matters from now on forwards. Every 3 points is so vital for Real Mallorca to step out of that relegation zone. They're just about in it. They are a game behind compared to some of the other teams, so the 3 points out here today would be so important for Real Mallorca. Of course, they are facing a tough team, and we're going to talk about Celta Vigo in a minute and their recent results. But before we do that, let's just take a look at recent form from both of these sides. Now, in the La Liga division, Real Mallorca have won 2 out of their last 5 matches, and Celta Vigo have only managed to win 1 out of their last 5 matches, actually drawing quite a few of them. And we know this Celta Vigo side to draw a lot of matches. They're actually the side to draw the most matches at the minute in the La Liga division. They love getting a draw or two, and we're also going to talk about that in a minute. Until then, we're going to take a look at the Real Mallorca players lining up, as you can see out there today. And there's been some changes in the lineup. I feel like week in, week out, the lineup has been changing for Real Mallorca, and Jacob Arrasate realistically has been experimenting with some new players. And the changes are, for example, we have Toni Lato starting at left back today. Usually we would have Johan Mojica in that position, but as we've seen later on in the season, Jacob Arrasate has been experimenting with Toni Lato and giving him more minutes and even starting him in quite a few matches. And he's actually starting out here today. Me personally, I think he's a brilliant left back, and I think he does a brilliant job whenever he does get the chance to play. So excited to see him playing out there today. And also a new change in the lineup, quite an important one, is Antonio Rayo back in the starting lineup and back from injury. David Lopez was taking his place in the meantime, and he was playing so well, David Lopez, so I'm surprised to see him lose his position, and it's a shame for him, the youngster, to lose his position now to Antonio Rayo, but he's just going to have to fight for his place and keep on playing well. Now, if you do have your screen open, if you can take a look, you can see the highlights for last time out for Real Mallorca up against Real Betis, as we just talked about 5 minutes ago. Look at the halfway shot there that Real Betis almost scored in the first half. And talking about this matchup, I mean, it really was a brilliant match from Real Mallorca, but 2 counterattacks for Real Betis and 2 goals for them, and that's what won them the match out there last week, was just counterattacks from Real Betis. It was pure counterattacking football, and they didn't dominate the match. Real Mallorca were looking so good in that first half, but the problem is 2 silly defensive slip-ups, 2 bad defensive awareness, and 2 goals for Real Betis, and that's just what happens. They have to be better, especially up against a tough Real Betis side that they're facing against this season. And it really should have been a match that they should have won, because Real Mallorca, they really did play well at home, and it at least should have been a draw. So it was a disappointing result. They did play well, but again, it's just not enough. There is the brilliant goal from Vidal Muriqin. I mean, look at that header. Absolutely brilliant from the Pirates. Look at the header. The chances of scoring that, and I mean, they're just minimal. Absolute beautiful goal there from Vidal Muriqin. What a striker he's been. And a fun fact for you is that for Real Mallorca, 60% of their goals comes all from Vidal Muriqin, and that's how important he is in this Real Mallorca squad. And I mean, if it wasn't for him, where would they be? 16 goals this season, the second maximum goal scorer. Behind him is Budimir on 12 goals for Osasuna. And then in first place, of course, is Kylian Mbappe with 23 LaLiga goals. And again, just look at the chances that Real Mallorca had to get that equalizer. A big chance there for Jambirigili. And if you did tune in the match, there was so many more chances. And I mean, it's just so disappointing. It really did have to be a result last week out. It should have been. And if we look at the stats, you had 65% possession for Real Mallorca. Yes, 65. That just shows you how dominant they were. And of course, the rest of the 35 for Real Betis. But then the difference is between these two sides is that Real Mallorca had 14 shots with only 3 on target. And I mean, that's really poor statistically offensive play. 14 shots and only 3 on target. I mean, Real Mallorca could have scored 4 or 5 goals in that matchup. And then, if you look at Real Betis, they had 17 shots with 8 on target. And yet, even like that, they only managed to get 1 more goal than Real Mallorca. It just tells you where the mistake was out there. The defensive awareness wasn't good. The counter-attacking play from Real Betis, hands down, was brilliant. They really are sharp on that counter-attack. But Real Mallorca, they can't be allowing Real Betis to score those 2 goals and then to only score 1 goal, to only get 3 on target out of 14 attempts. It just wasn't good enough. So that was last week out for Real Mallorca, but what about last week out for Celta Vigo in the LaLiga division? And a big result for them. It should have been the 3 points for them, realistically playing at home, but they did face up against a really tough side, a tough Osasuna side that's been in brilliant form recently. And Celta lost narrowly at home in their most recent La Liga outgoing, with Osasuna finishing stronger to take all the 3 points. Celta Vigo fought, they stayed in the game but couldn't overturn the deficit, leaving them disappointed in front of the fans at Balaidos. And I mean, realistically, a match that needed to be a result for Celta Vigo, but I mean, this Osasuna side recently just has been brilliant. And it's funny because for Osasuna, the man scoring the goals is Budimir on 12 goals this season. He's 3rd place, just behind Vidal Muriqin, who's on 16 goals. But you look at the results Osasuna have been getting, you look at where they are on the table, sitting at 9th place, and then you look at the results that Real Mallorca have been getting, and you look at where they are, 18th place, and it's a big difference. Even though Vedan Muriqi has 16 goals, 4 more than Budimir, he's also a striker that's on brilliant form. That's what's doing it for Osasuna at the minute. It's the same case for Real Mallorca, but it's just the rest of the team that's not backing Vedan Muriqi, and I think that's where the difference is. And if you look at the table, Real Mallorca 18th place with 24 points, meaning they've drawn 6 matches, they've won 6, and they've lost 12. Currently sitting just in that relegation zone. And for CELTA Vigo, they're currently sitting at 7th place with 34 points, meaning they have won 8, they've drawn 10, and they've lost 6. A side that's very, very known to getting draws this season. Of course, a draw isn't a bad result. It gives you a point and it moves you up. So if it works for them, then it works. So Celta Vigo, a team fighting for European football, who are also going to want the 3 points out there today to keep on fighting for a European place. And one thing we also have to talk about is that Celta Vigo played just about 3 days ago in the Europa League playoffs up against PAOK, the Brazilian side team. Sorry, not Brazilian, the Greece side team. And, they've not had much time to rest. They've not had much time to get ready for this one. And they're missing a lot of players out there today. Their main man, Borja Iglesias, who's done 10 goals this season, on the bench. Iago Aspas also on the bench, and a lot of star players for Celta Vigo either out injured or on the bench out here today because, as I mentioned, they just played about 3 days ago in the Europa League. They've not had time to rest. They're going to be tired, and that's the advantage that Real Mallorca has out there today. They need to try and make the most of it. And the last time these two sides faced each other in their most recent La Liga clash was all the way back out in April 2025 at the San Marcos Stadium, where Real Mallorca took the lead early through Valgent, but Celta Vigo responded in the second half with goals from Alfon Gonzalez and Fer Lopez to complete the comeback and secure the win on the road. And Fer Lopez, a name that's familiar as he is starting out here today on that right wing. The last time he played against Real Mallorca, he did cause trouble. But hopefully Real Mallorca know how to deal with him this time. And again, the advantage for Real Mallorca is that Celta Vigo played not long ago. They're going to have tired and missing players out there today. And they'll need to learn to adjust to that and make the most of it. And of course, the man to look out for Celta Vigo, obviously they need to keep an eye on Vedan Muriqi, who week in, week out is just scoring non-stop. 16 goals, a beautiful goal last week out at San Marcos, one of the best headers I've seen so far. And they're going to need to keep an eye on him as he's looking dangerous. So now we have Real Mallorca and Celta Vigo both getting ready to head out soon. But until then, if you look at the screen, you can take a look at the highlights. As I mentioned, the last time out that these two sides faced each other at the San Marcos Stadium. A 2-1 result for Celta Vigo, despite Real Mallorca scoring early on. And the last 5 matchups between these two sides, Real Mallorca have only managed to win one of them. Celta Vigo have won 2, and 2 of them were draws. So, a result last time out for Celta Vigo. Again, this was all the way back in April. We're looking at 2 different sides now. And in the La Liga division, Celta Vigo have only managed to win 1 out of the last 5. Drawing 3 of them, losing 1, and winning 1. And actually, one thing I think that's funny is at the beginning of the season, Celta Vigo drawed 5 matches in a row, all with the same score of 1-1. How interesting is that? always managing to score one, but always managing to concede one. But of course, this Celta Vigo side has picked up a lot of form, and now they do look dangerous at home, and it's going to be difficult to deal with. And Real Mallorca really do have to perform out here today. And they did perform last week out. They really, really did. But they just couldn't manage to get the result they wanted. And it needed to be better. Even though it was a good performance, it just wasn't good enough. So now we're just about 2.5 minutes away from kickoff. And soon we're going to see these Real Mallorca players and these Celta Vigo players heading out to the pitch to get ready for kickoff here. Supposedly we have a 6:30 kickoff in this matchup. And here, a brilliant equalizer there from Real Mallorca. It's Mateo Jaume who puts in the back of the net. A player who's not currently starting out here today. And Jan Salas, the youngster, managed to keep him... Sorry, not Jan Salas, Mark Dominic, the youngster, managed to keep him play, who is no longer here this season as he went out on loan. And 2 new returns out here today for Real Mallorca. As we mentioned earlier, Antonio Raillo back in the starting lineup, and Toni Lato also back in the starting lineup. And the rest of the lineup for Real Mallorca is going to be Leo Roman between the 2 sticks, as always. The 2 centre backs, Antonio Raillo and Martin Valgent. The left back, Toni Lato. The right back is Pablo Maffeo. Then the 2 centre defensive mids, as always, are Samu Costa and Omar Mascarey. On the left wing, we have Gian Virgili. 6 assists for him this season. Ranked 5th place for the most assists in the LaLiga so far. On the right wing, we have Antonio Sanchez. In the centre attacking mid, Sergi Darder. And up front, the Pirates, Vera Muriqi. So a strong starting lineup for Real Mallorca out there today. So now we have Celta Vigo getting ready for the matchup. These Real Mallorca players also lining up on the pitch. It looks like a busy atmosphere out there today at the Balaidos Stadium. And these Celta Vigo fans will be out there today to support their team. Again, 3 really important points for both sides. Celta Vigo, if they want to keep on fighting for European football. And then, of course, Real Mallorca, who need to get out of that relegation zone position. So 3 really important points for both of these sides. And we're hoping for a good matchup. And Celta Vigo actually starting with 3 defenders at the back out there today. With a 3-4-3 formation. It's going to be Radu at the back. The 3 centre backs are Alfonso, Aidu, and Rodriguez. And then the left mid is Alvarez. The 2 centre mids are Roman and Vecino. The right mid is Rueda. And then up front for Celta Vigo, on the left is Jutgla. Up front is going to be Duran, and on the right is going to be Lopez. So that is the formation for Celta Vigo out there today. Decent weather out there today. It's just looking at around 15 degrees Celsius. Perfect weather to play in with the sun going down here at the Estadio Balaidos. It's a beautiful kickoff, a beautiful evening. And we're ready for some Sunday night football. Celta Vigo up against Real Mallorca. 2 teams, both in need of the 3 points. Who wants it more? We'll find out in the minute as the referee puts the ball in the middle of the pitch. And we'll soon be ready for kickoff. And CELTA Vigo have scored just 6 goals in their last 5 matches. Despite them sitting at 7th place, they've not been the strongest offensive side. Vedan Muriqi ready for this matchup. So now Real Mallorca kick off the match, and we are on the way. And an exciting matchup we have out here today. Hopefully we're in for a goal fest. And the first half begins here. Real Mallorca attempting to go for it right off the bat. Not managing to get anything from that. It's going to be a throw-in for CELTA Vigo. And also for CELTA, they've scored 4 goals in their last home LaLiga match up against Valencia. Despite me saying they're not the strongest offensive side, they still managed to get a decent amount of goals up against that Valencia side. So now CELTA Vigo in possession, just holding at the back, not rushing it forward here at the minute. And you're just wondering, are Real Mallorca going to put out a performance out there today? Is it going to be good enough? So now CELTA Vigo in possession, playing out to their right-hand side. Here's CELTA Vigo, switching it to the left. Real Mallorca so far holding on to theirs very well. Muriqi trying to put on a bit of pressure. Here's Aido. He switches out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez into Rueda. Rueda back to... And in the end, a throw-in for Real Mallorca as he just couldn't get his touch as he would like to there. Marcos Alonso, the former Chelsea player. One player that definitely has quite the amount of experience. And he's been helping this CELTA Vigo squad for quite some time now. He's proved to be a very familiar name in the squad. And I also think that's maybe something that Real Mallorca have been missing for some time, is players with experience. We've never actually seen a lot of them. CELTA Vigo holding on to the ball very well. In the end, it's Martin Valgent who clears it. Gianbrigidi trying to bring it down, but defending him is Alvarez. And CELTA Vigo get the ball back. So now CELTA Vigo in possession. Cutting out the pass is Antonio Sanchez. Just can't keep it in play. And Alonso does very well. Now here's Rueda. Rueda playing it back. And CELTA Vigo are going to switch out to Alonso again on that left-hand side. And so far, CELTA Vigo looking very comfortable on the ball in these first few minutes. Looking for a way through. They're passing the ball around very well. Not giving away any mistakes. Muriqi trying to put on the pressure to force Celta Vigo to lose it. Down this left-hand side, trying to put in the cross. It's the deflection's gone off of Pablo Maffeo, and it's going to be a corner for Celta Vigo. But in the end, the referee decides a throw-in, not a corner. So a throw-in just beside the corner flag. It goes out of play, the deflection from Antonio Sanchez, and this time it is going to be a corner. So first 5 minutes in here now, and Celta Vigo have the first corner of the match. And they've proved to be a dangerous side this season. Celta Vigo from the set piece. Can they make anything from this? Putting in the cross into that second post. It's cleared by Real Mallorca. And they keep the deflection. So Celta Vigo still in play. Here's Alonso. He gets taken down. No foul, the referee says. The play continues. Here's Aidu. Aidu playing it through the middle into Alonso. Celta Vigo looking very comfortable with the ball in these first few minutes. Real Mallorca dealing with the pressure. They have been very good so far, Celta Vigo. And Real Mallorca have scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches, despite sitting at 18th place. And it just shows you the sort of season it's been defensively for them. And I mean, offensively, it has been a big improvement compared to last season, but defensively, there's been a big drop in that defensive area. So now Sergi Darder brings it down and he plays out wide to Antonio Sanchez. Back to Sergi Darder. Real Mallorca finally in possession. Here's Leo Roman. Plays it into Martin Valgent. Here's Maffeo. Back to Martin Valgent. Maffeo plays it forward, looking for Vidal Muriqi. The pass is cut out. It's going to be a throw-in for Mallorca. Good play there from Real Mallorca to try and take it forward. So now here's Pablo Maffeo again. And Mallorca sit 18th place with the worst XG conceded in the La Liga division at 40.80, averaging 40.80 amount of goals conceded a season. Really, really poor defensive work this season so far from Real Mallorca. And it's going to be a dangerous set-piece play here for Real Mallorca. The question is, can they make anything from it? He's going to try and put in the cross. And in the end, nothing comes from that. The header just goes wide for Real Mallorca, and it's going to be a goal kick. So now Celta Vigo to take the goal kick. A brilliant chance there for Real Mallorca. The header from Antonio Rayo just goes wide. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just had a bit of a technical issue there. But we are back. And now it's going to be a free kick for Celta Vigo. And a yellow card is going to be handed to Vedat Muriqi early on in this matchup. And Vedat Muriqi's already been booked. Not a good start so far for Real Mallorca. Celta Vigo have looked very comfortable on the ball. So taking the free kick is going to be Celta Vigo. And I'm quite surprised he did receive a yellow card there. And even he looks a bit surprised with Muriqi. And I can understand why. I mean, I don't think it's a yellow card. He obviously doesn't do it on purpose. It doesn't look like there's enough on that to be awarded as a yellow card. Quite ridiculous from the referee, I think. He does hit Javi Rodriguez ever so slightly. It's not too hard. And I mean, I think it's a bit harsh to be a yellow card. So now here's Aidu. Aidu playing it into Rodriguez. Celta Vigo slowly looking for a way forward. And Real Mallorca haven't managed to keep a clean sheet in the last 10 matches in a row. It's something they've really struggled with this season is offensive play. It's something that... Sorry, defensive play, not offensive play. The offensive play has actually been a big improvement this season for Real Mallorca, but the defensive has just really not been there, which is quite strange, because that's usually their stronger point. Now here's Sergi Darder trying to play it into Antonio Sanchez. He puts his foot out to get on the edge of it, but he just can't keep it. So now Real Mallorca can take it forward. Looking for Vedat Muriqi to flick it on forward. Getting there is going to be Antonio Sanchez, but in the end, Aidu gets there first. Now here's Alfonso driving forward for Celta Vigo. And so far, none of these sides have had a big chance yet. The biggest chance was probably the set-piece play from Antonio Raillo. But it has been a quiet match in these first 13 minutes. Now Alvarez back to Alfonso. Alfonso's going to play out wide. Here's Rueda. Rueda back to Rodriguez. Trying to play it through the middle. Celta Vigo end up losing it. Brilliant play here from Samu Costa, who can't keep the ball for Real Mallorca. He did well to skip past his man, but then just looks like maybe slips up on his own feet. Not quite sure what he does there. Samu Costa. So now Celta Vigo in possession, and they can take it forward. And a difficult side to beat at home, this Celta Vigo side so far this season. They're a complicated team, as most would describe them. Real Mallorca, on the other hand, away from home, most of the time, not good enough. So now Celta Vigo again in possession, trying to take it forward. Antonio Sanchez commits the tackle. Here's Alfonso. Alfonso playing a lovely through ball into Duran. Here's Alvarez. He tries putting in the cross. It falls to Alfonso. who attempts the long shot, but not much comes from it. So now a goal kick for Real Mallorca. And if we talk about shots on target, I'm not quite sure any of these teams have had one yet. Sergi Darder tries bringing it down. Aidu gets there first. Sergi Darder chasing him down. A dangerous chance there for Real Mallorca, but in the end, Aidu wins the race. A strong centre-back for Celta Vigo this season. Now Pablo Maffeo up against Duran, and Pablo Maffeo ends up committing the foul. Just takes him down there. So it's going to be a dangerous set-piece play for Celta Vigo. And the question is, can they make anything from this? Now Celta Vigo to take the set-piece play. Is he going to go for the shot, or is he going to go for the cross? It's Alvarez stepping up to take it. Now he ends up trying to put in the low cross. It's cleared by Samu Costa. And Hugo Alvarez just can't make the most of that set-piece play. So it's going to be a corner for Celta Vigo. He just tries putting in a sneaky low cross there, as you can see. But Samu Costa gets there first and clears it. So now a corner for Celta Vigo. Putting it into that first post. And it goes out for Celta Vigo, but what a chance. It was Vecino who leaped up to get his head on it. It's going to be another corner for Celta Vigo. So now putting into that first post is cleared by Real Mallorca. It was Pablo Maffeo who dealt with the clearance. A throw-in for Celta Vigo, and so far they're putting on the pressure. Real Mallorca are defending well, but they have to keep this up. Now trying to put in the low cross, and in the end nothing comes from that as it goes into the hands of Leo Roman. And now Real Mallorca finally back in possession. Here's Leo Roman. Taking his time to play it forward, maybe trying to get his team to keep the ball for a bit. And I spoke too soon as Real Mallorca lose it right away. It's Antonio Sanchez who tries getting it back for his team, and he does get it back. Good defending there from Antonio Sanchez. Leo Roman trying to play it forward. The ball ends up bouncing right back to him. And when Real Mallorca get the ball, they just look a bit panicky at the minute. They don't really know what to do with it. They're struggling to play forward. They just need to keep the calm a little bit. Celta Vigo, when they have the ball, they put on the pressure offensively on Real Mallorca, and when they're off the ball, they also put on a lot of pressure, not letting them play forward. It's been a real struggle so far in this first half for Real Mallorca. And for Celta Vigo, a very positive one. So now Celta Vigo in possession, and it's Marcos Alonso. He plays it into Aidu. Marcos Alonso. Aidu decides to switch out to Rodriguez. He's going to play into Vecino. Good pressure there from Real Mallorca. Now they can break on the counter-attack. Here's Vidal Muriqi, who plays out wide to Giambidigili. Giambidigili tries looking for Vidal Muriqi. The cross is blocked. Real Mallorca keep the ball. They stay in possession. And it's Sergi Darder. He plays out wide to Antonio Rayo. Samu Costa, back to Rayo. Real Mallorca driving forward. Here's Sergi Darder. What can he do from here? Sergi Darder, he tries putting in the cross. Just looking for Vidal Muriqi. The cross just goes slightly wide. It goes out. And it's going to be a goal kick for Celta Vigo. And as we know, that's been their tactic this season. You can just see Sergi Darder. He cuts in. He tries to go for a cross similar to the goal that they scored last week out up against Real Betis. And Celta Vigo will know that that will be Real Mallorca's game plan. They'll know that they're going to be looking for Vidal Muriqi to put the cross into. So I think it's going to be difficult for the Pyre out there today. He's really going to have to try and get free to get his head on it. So now a throw in for Celta Vigo in a dangerous position. Celta Vigo take the throw in and they decided to play all the way back to Aidu. Aidu into Alfonso. Alfonso's going to play out wide into Rodriguez. Putting in the low passes. It's a dangerous pass. Leo Roman gets the save. And Omar Mascarell clears it. Lovely ball there from Rodriguez. And Celta Vigo have their first proper chance in this matchup. Their first shot on target. And it was a big save by Leo Roman. And we'll take a look at the replay. But until then, Real Mallorca are going to keep the possession. Here's Maffeo into Omar Mascarell. Back to Maffeo. Sergi Darder. He plays into Omar Mascarell. Back to Maffeo. It's good play here from Real Mallorca, but they need to find a way forward. Here's Leo Roman. He tries looking for Vidal Muriqi. Now Maffeo back to Omar. Samu Costa. And I'll tell you what, defensively, the Celta Vigo side so far really has been brilliant. They do so well to not let Real Mallorca play from at the back, to not let them move forward. They put on some very good pressure. I will say they really have been good so far in this first half. And Real Mallorca losing the ball there in a very dangerous position, and it was Sergi Darder. Now Celta Vigo can break forward on the left wing. It's Alvarez. What can he do? Alvarez, he cuts in. And his touch is just a bit too heavy. And he gives away a goal kick. Dangerous chance there for Celta Vigo. There was the chance from earlier. And it's Duran. I'm not sure if he goes for a shot or if he tries to go for the low pass. But either way, Leo Roman makes a big save. And the pass from Alvarez has been brilliant. And so far, he's been really dangerous on that left-hand side. And this Alvarez is certainly playing better than other Alvarez at the minute. So now, good defending there from Antonio Rayo. The ball goes out and it's going to be a corner kick. So another corner for Celta Vigo. So far in this first half, they really have been the better side. They've not had the most chances. Ramrica have been defending well, but Celta Vigo just don't allow Ramrica to keep the possession, and they pressure very well. When Ramrica do get the ball, they don't allow them to play forward, and it's something they're really struggling to deal with. Here's Martin Valgent. Rayo into Maffeo. Maffeo tries looking for Velamuriki. In the end, it doesn't work out for them. And now Celta Vigo are back in possession. Just tried rushing it forward a bit too fast there, Pablo Maffeo. Trying to give the through ball. Celta Vigo, in the end, it doesn't work out for them. Now Ramrica back in possession. What can they make from this? Maffeo back to Raillo. Here's Antonio Raillo. He gives it to Martin Valgent. Back to Raillo. Back to Leo Roman. And Ramrica just can't find a way to play the ball forward. Samu Costa, he gets taken down. So a free kick for Real Mallorca. And I think this Celta Vigo side know that Ramrica do the most damage offensively. So they're just not allowing them to play forward. It's really good so far from Celta Vigo. So now Ramrica take the free kick. And we are back in play. Here's Raillo into Maffeo. Maffeo tries playing the long ball, but the pass was cut out by Celta Vigo. Now they can break on the counter-attack. Down this right-hand side, it's Jutgla. He decides to play it back. Here's Alonso. Alonso into Alvarez. Back to Alonso. And Celta Vigo losing the ball in a dangerous position as Omar Mascarell gets it back for them. And then Ramrica, poor pass there by Tony Lato to give it back to Celta Vigo. And Celta Vigo also dealing with a bit of frustration as Vecino just attempts the long shot from quite a courageous effort. I will say Celta Vigo still have some very, very dangerous players on the bench to bring on. You've got Borja Iglesias, who's their maximum goal scorer. 10 goals for him this season, a brilliant striker. He's on the bench along with some other big names who haven't made an appearance today. Risky pass there back to Radu, who we've not really seen much of so far. Now Tony Lato gets the ball back in a dangerous position for Real Mallorca. He does very well. Now Real Mallorca have it. Here's Jan Virgili. Martin Valgent back to Omar Mascarell. He plays into Raillo. Real Mallorca slowly looking for a way forward. We've just hit the 30th minute marker. So just 15 minutes left to go. Plus whatever is added on of extra time. I don't think there'll be much, as there's not really been any time wasted. There's not been any goals either yet. So trying to play it forward into Jan Virgili. But in the end, it's well defended. by Rodriguez. Very good interception there from Martin Valgens to get the ball back for Real Mallorca. Here's Gianvirgili. He tries taking it forward. And in the end, Aidu clears it. And the deflection from the Real Mallorca player bounces out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Celta Vigo. And you can see the frustration on Gianvirgili, as every time he gets the ball, he just doesn't have enough room to work with. He's always surrounded by 2 or 3 players. And this Celta Vigo side has been so compound, so effective in this first half. It's very impressive how well they've been defending. Here's Samu Costa into Maffeo. He can't manage to keep the ball. So now Celta Vigo are in possession. As they get the ball back, as they have been doing in this matchup so far quite often in the first half. Here's Alvarez on that left-hand side. Alonso overlapping him. He plays into Alonso. Alonso back to Alvarez. Alvarez, he's going to cut in. Lovely play from Alvarez, who takes the shot off. The rebound off of Pablo Maffeo. It's cleared by Samu Costa. And he does so well, Alvarez, to fake the shot. He just cuts in, tries to take it on his right. And I'll tell you what, he's absolutely brilliant so far on that left-hand side, creating lots of danger for this Celta Vigo side. And offensively, they haven't been very dangerous. They've been good at keeping the ball, and they've been very good at putting on the pressure. But when it comes to actually getting shots off and creating big chances, they've not really had much. Here's Alvarez. Very well defended there from Antonio Sanchez, as Alvarez just tries to cut in. He does well, Antonio Sanchez, and he gets the goal kick. Here's the chance from earlier, and it's absolutely brilliant from Alvarez. And I mean, Omar Mascarell just looks confused. He doesn't know where to look. Now Leo Roman takes the goal kick. Real Mallorca do manage to bring it down. Now they can break forward. Tony Lato into Gianvirgili. Tony Lato overlapping him. Decides to play it back. Now Raillo. Antonio Raillo out wide to Pablo Maffeo. Now Maffeo back to Martin Valgens. Martin Valgens into Tony Lato. And Tony Lato playing the long ball, looking for Gianvirgili. He claimed he was getting his t-shirt pulled. Gianvirgili, the referee didn't award anything. So now Celta Vigo are going to play forward. It does look like he is pulling on his t-shirt, I will say. Should have been a free kick there for Real Mallorca and possibly a booking for Celta Vigo. And now here comes Celta Vigo. What chance this is here! And Leo Roman makes the save. And what a chance for Celta Vigo! He was free on goal. 1v1. It was Duran. He had Pablo Maffeo closing him down, but he had all the time in the world to put it away. And Leo Roman makes the save. It's a poor effort from Duran. And now the free kick awarded. And Moriki commits the foul. Just commits it on Rodriguez. And the referee doesn't want to hear it. Vedam Muriqi already is on a yellow card, so he does want to watch out. He is the main man for Real Mallorca, and, well, without him, where would they be? 16 goals this season. 60% of Real Mallorca's goals come from Vedam Muriqi. Now Celta Vigo in possession. And lovely passing play from Celta Vigo. And in the end, they can't make anything from that. Celta Vigo get the ball back on the right-hand side. It's Lopez. What can he make from this? What's a skill that is there from Lopez. He plays it back. Lovely play so far from Celta Vigo. Playing out wide, looking for Alvarez, and the pass is just a bit too high. And I'm not quite sure about the previous challenge that the referee claimed that Vedam Muriqi committed the foul. I think the referee's been very, very harsh on Real Mallorca so far in this first half. I mean, the foul on Jambi Gili, that should have been given. And then Vedam Muriqi picks up a booking with his first foul, and I mean, it's one of them ones that always happens with the strikers where you put your arms out a bit backwards. The player goes down easily. I think it's a bit harsh. So now a throw in for Celta Vigo. There was the lovely skill from earlier. He had Tony Lato and Antonio Sanchez closing him down. So now Celta Vigo playing it forward. Here they come again. Can they make anything from this? 38 minutes in here now, so not long left to go before the end of the first half. Just about 7 minutes plus whatever is added on of extra time. And so far, nothing separating both of these sides. It's 0-0 here at the Balaidos Stadium. Celta Vigo looking like the stronger side, but Real Mallorca holding their own. Now here is Celta Vigo in possession. And when it comes to scoring goals, this Celta Vigo side hasn't been the strongest this season. They've only managed to score 6 in their last 5. Now, what a chance this is here for Real Mallorca. The touch from Giambirgili is just a bit too heavy. And it goes into the hands of Radu. And it was a big chance for Real Mallorca to break on the counter-attack. And Giambirgili just can't get his touch as he would like to. The referee stops the play as one of these Celta Vigo players is on the ground here. He looks hurt. We'll take a look at what happened. I just think he slips and he hurts himself. I'm not sure who it is. I think it's Duran that's on the ground. And hopefully it is nothing too serious. It would be a big blow for Celta Vigo as they've had enough injuries. They've had enough players out today as well. And Duran is going to have to come off of the pitch. And we'll see if he can continue or not. 40 minutes in here now in this first half. And Celta Vigo are warming up a player just in case. But in the meantime, Real Mallorca are going to take the throw in. And they're going to give the ball back to Celta Vigo. So now here's Radu playing it into Alonso. Alonso playing it into Aidu. Aidu into Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Aidu. And these three have definitely been playing well out there today. The three centre backs, Alonso, Aidu and Rodriguez, they've definitely held their own. They've been playing very well. But still a whole second half to go. A free kick for Real Mallorca. Samu Costa. Not Samu Costa, it's Antonio Sanchez who gets taken down. Jutgla commits the foul. You can see what he thinks of that decision. He's not happy. But he just bashes into Antonio Sanchez a bit too hard there. And another Celta Vigo player's on the ground again. And I think it's Duran who's on the ground again, so obviously he will have to come off for Celta Vigo, as it's the second time that he's been on the ground now. So most likely he will be coming off. We'll take a look at where it happened. It's just there. That's where it originally happened. You can see he slips himself. He just sort of splits his legs open. And I'm not sure what happened. Maybe if he tore a muscle as it happened. And he's going to be coming off for Celta Vigo. A big round of applause for him. And you've got to feel bad for him. A shame to go out like that, injured. And replacing him is going to be Williot. So Duran coming off and Williot coming on to replace him. And in the end, it was a free kick for Real Mallorca, so the play is going to continue. Now Sergi Darder is going to take the set-piece play. Heads into Gianvirgili, who just slips there. And he can't keep hold of it. Everyone seems to be slipping out here today. There, Muriqi goes, and he slips too. Samu Costa gets the ball back in a dangerous position for Real Mallorca. Here's Sergi Darder. Out wide to Antonio Sanchez. Back to Sergi Darder, who tries putting in the cross. And Radu kicks it away, but Real Mallorca try and keep the ball. It ends up being a free kick, I believe. And in the end, the referee decides not to award the free kick. So a throw-in for Real Mallorca. It just looks like the referee overturned the decision last minute there. Martin Valgen telling his team to calm down as he goes to take the throw-in. Two minutes are going to be added on here of extra time in this first half. Martin Valgen takes the throw-in. Nothing comes from it. Omar Mascarell playing it back to Maffeo. Leo Roman ends up clearing it. Muriqi brings it down very well. He plays it into Antonio Sanchez. Here's Gianvirgili into Samu Costa. Samu Costa looking to play it into Sergi Darder. But In the end, it doesn't work out for them. So now a goal kick for Celta Vigo. Brilliant touch there from Villamuriki, and it's been an awfully quiet first half from him, but there's not much he can do. Ramirka haven't really had any chances at all, except for the earlier set-piece play and the header from Antonio Raillo. And the second half needs to be a lot better for Real Mallorca. They have defended well. They've not conceded a single goal yet, so it has been good, but it needs to be a lot better if they want to get the 3 points from this matchup. Good tackle from Samu Costa, who's been very good so far in this first half. He really has been strong defensively. Brilliant tackles from him. And a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And I think the best players so far in this first half have definitely been Leo Roman and Samu Costa for Real Mallorca, and for Celta Vigo it's definitely been Alvarez. The defense has also been really strong for Celta Vigo. And that is the end of the first half in this matchup here at the Balaidos Stadium. So a quiet first half in terms of goals, sorry. And in terms of offensive play, it's also been really quiet from both of these sides. Celta Vigo have had a few chances. They've not had any proper big ones. They've had about one or two really big chances, but that's about it. And then for Real Mallorca, they've not had, well, any at all, realistically. So a very quiet half from Real Mallorca. Offensively, they've just not been there. They've just not had anything going. They're really struggling to play from at the back. Celta Vigo are putting on the pressure, and so far they are eating them up in that sequence. And Celta Vigo have been very compound, very strong in this first half. Defensively, they have been really hard to get past, and are making it a real struggle for Real Mallorca out there today. But I will say offensively, it does need to be a bit better from Celta Vigo. So overall, an alright first half. Celta Vigo looking like the better side. Real Mallorca need to go for a bit more in the second half. You know, Celta Vigo, they're playing only with 3 at the back. Yeah, and yet Real Mallorca have not had a single shot on target. As a matter of fact, they've had one shot in the whole match, and it's from a defender, from a set-piece play. So, again, that first half was just really poor, and it's strange because, you know, out of everything that Real Mallorca have been doing well this season, I think offensively has been one of the best things that they have been doing. So, you know, fair play to Celta Vigo for managing to put a stop so far to Real Mallorca, and to putting a stop to Villamuriki, the Pirate, who's a very, very dangerous goal scorer. 16 goals for him this season, and even he is struggling to get a chance out here today. Either way, we're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be back very, very shortly for the second half. Do not go anywhere, as we have Real Mallorca 0, Celta Vigo 0 here at the Balaidos Stadium, and we'll be back very shortly for the second half, so do not go anywhere. Good evening, and we are back here for the second part, the second half of this matchup. Thank you so much for your patience as we went on a quick break after that first half. We have Celta Vigo and Real Mallorca both heading out to the pitch here now and both getting ready for the start of this second half. And it's going to be a complicated one, as in this first half, Celta Vigo were the better side. Offensively, they were looking stronger. Defensively, they were looking stronger. And possession-wise, they were looking stronger. Overall, they have been the better side. And we've not seen much at all from Real Mallorca out here today. They haven't had any chances at all. They've had one chance, one header from Antonio Rayo, and that's it. Celta Vigo have had a few chances, one or two dangerous ones. And Real Mallorca have a bit of a mountain to climb to get back into this one. Of course, the important thing is the scoreboard that is still 0-0 here. There's been no goal scored in this first half, so that's the important part overall. So definitely still plenty of time for Real Mallorca to try and put in a better performance. And the referee blows for the second half, and we are on the way here at the Balaidos Stadium, where Real Mallorca need to start to look better. And right after that, Celta Vigo in possession. They're going to take it all the way back to the man between the sticks, Radu, who realistically hasn't been tested at all in this matchup. He's not had to do anything yet. He must be getting a bit cold out there, Radu. So now, here's Alfonso into Alvarez. Back to Alonso. Aidu into Rodriguez. Playing it through the middle. Here's Celta Vigo. Can they make anything from this? And in the end, it's well defended by Pablo Maffeo. It's going to be a free kick in the end as Antonio Rayo just gets taken down. And quite a kick he took there from Rueda, Antonio Rayo. And as I mentioned earlier in the first half, I think the referee's been harsh on Real Mallorca so far in this first half. And I mean, I think the yellow card from Muriqi makes no sense. And then I think there should have been a booking for Celta Vigo for a foul on Jambiri Giri that wasn't even given. I think he was a bit harsh in that first half. So now Real Mallorca trying to make something from this. It's Omar Mascarell. He ends up committing the foul. And he's going to pick up the yellow card for breaking the counter-attack. And that one was a good decision from the referee. Definitely a yellow card for Omar Mascarell. He just breaks the counter-attack. He knows he needs to take him down. So he's going to pick up a booking. If he didn't take down Lopez there, then it could have been dangerous. Good foul there from Omar Mascarell. And now a free kick for Celta Vigo. They take it quickly, Celta Vigo. Here's Rodriguez. Out to Aidu. Alonso into Alvarez. Here's Alvarez, who's been ever so dangerous in that first half. It's Alvarez, he fakes the shot. He plays it short. And the shot goes far off target for Lopez. He just tries to curl it in with his left foot. You can see his intentions. But in the end, it doesn't work out for him. Now a goal kick for Real Mallorca. And taking quickly, Leo Roman's going to play up forward. Antonio Sanchez heading on to Vedam Muriqi. Aidu gets there first and he plays it back to Radu. Now Celta Vigo trying to play it forward. They just misunderstand each other there. Roman looking for Lopez. But they end up giving a throw into Real Mallorca. So now Tony Lato. Tony Lato into Samu Costa. Samu Costa trying to give it to Vidal Muriki. Celta Vigo trying to bring it down. Antonio Rayo deals with the danger. And I could have sworn there was a handball there for Real Mallorca. The referee didn't award it. Looks like it bounces off of his hand. The play's going to continue either way. Now Celta Vigo down this left-hand side. It's Alvarez. Well defended in the end by Real Mallorca. Now they can break forward. Trying to play the long ball into Gian Virgili, but Radu comes out and gets there first. And Pablo Maffeo's on the ground here and he looks quite hurt. He has his hand on his left shoulder by the looks of it. We'll take a look at the replay. Not quite sure what happened there to Pablo Maffeo. Maybe potentially by the way he was sliding it could have hurt his shoulder. He is back up, so by the looks of it he will be okay. And the play's going to continue. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And you can't take the throw-in. So taking it, it's going to be Antonio Sanchez. And he plays into Maffeo. Maffeo tries playing it forward. It's handball in the end. He did well, Pablo Maffeo, to get something from that. So now Real Mallorca with the free kick. And Pablo Maffeo still has his hand on his shoulder and he looks quite hurt. I'm not sure if he'll be able to continue. Now trying to play forward into Tony Lato, and Tony Lato ends up committing the foul. The referee is going to award a yellow card by the looks of it to Tony Lato. And I mean, it's his first foul in the match for Tony Lato. I think maybe it's a bit unfair. We'll take a look at the replay to see. And I mean, I don't quite think it's a yellow card. It's only his first foul. It's not a really tough challenge. I think the referee's just been so unfair, handing out yellow cards to Real Mallorca. And I mean, the one on Omar Mascarell is definitely justified, but the yellow card to Muriqi and Tony Lato, just not quite sure. I mean, a yellow card for Vidal Muriqi on his first foul. And a yellow card to Tony Lato also on his first foul. I think it's a bit unfair. So now they take the throw in quickly. Here's Maffeo. Maffeo into Samu Costa. Samu Costa into Vidal Muriqi. Here's Antonio Sanchez. Samu Costa. Back to Rayo. Rayo driving forward into Martin Valgent. Samu Costa. Here's Rayo. Rayo out wide to Maffeo. Now Real Mallorca can drive forward. He plays into Vidal Muriqi. Vidal Muriqi back to Samu Costa. Vidal Muriqi goes in the box. Pablo Maffeo is going to look for him. A bit too much height on the cross. Real Mallorca keep the rebound. They keep the ball in possession. And They're going to go for it again. And they really, really have been struggling, Real Mallorca, to find a way forward in this matchup. It's not something we usually see. I don't usually see Real Mallorca struggle this season often to go forward. It's usually something they're a bit better at. But this matchup, they just really, really haven't managed to do it. Here's Alvarez for Celta Vigo. Alvarez, he tries putting in the cross. There's too much height on it and it goes right into the hands of Leo Roman. So now Leo Roman takes the goal kick. Muriqi tries playing the header on forward, but no one makes a run for it. And they give it right back to Celta Vigo. So Celta Vigo now in possession. And Celta Vigo 0, Real Mallorca 0. Both of these teams at the minute still sharing a point each. And I mean, even if Real Mallorca do manage to get a point out of this, I would still be impressed because they've really, really not given enough so far in this matchup. It really has been poor. So now here's Celta Vigo. They're going to take out wide. Here's Alvarez. Alvarez lays it back. Celta Vigo trying to take the shot off. And the rebound almost ends up being a perfect cross to Rueda. And he gets his head on it. I just don't think he doesn't expect it. The shot from Vecino deflects off of Martin Valgent, so it wouldn't have been offside, and then it falls perfectly to Rueda, but again, the ball's going so quick, he just doesn't expect it. There's not really much he can do there. Now the referee stops the play, and he seems to be checking something. Maybe, potentially, a handball, I'm guessing. In the end, he blows his whistle. Play continues. So nothing's going to come from that. Here's Leo Roman. Plays it up forward. And Real Mallorca have been better so far in this second half at least. Possession-wise, they're getting back into it. Trying to drive forward, Real Mallorca, they can't make anything from that. Good interception by Martin Valgent. Leo Roman clearing it. Jan Virgili's chasing the ball down. He could get there on time. He does get there on time. But his touch just lets him down. So a throw in for Celta Vigo in the end. Celta Vigo take it quickly. Looking for that number 9, Jutgla. Antonio Rayo gets there first and plays it back to Leo Roman. Omar Mascarell into Maffeo. Maffeo into Raillo. 58 minutes in here now, so just about 32 minutes left before the full-time whistle. So far, both of these sides goalless. The question is one of them going to make a difference before the full-time whistle? And Real Mallorca are slowly starting to look a lot better, but if they don't keep up the improvement, then I don't think it'll be them. Here come Real Mallorca, and it's Antonio Sanchez. Here's Samu Costa. And Aidu ends up defending it and getting the ball back for Celta Vigo. Very good pressure there from Antonio Sanchez on Alonso. And he gets the throw in for Real Mallorca. So now it's going to be a throw in for Real Mallorca. And it's going to be Pablo Maffeo. By the looks of it, he's going to be putting it into that box. He can't quite reach. Vámonos Carey gets the ball back. Here's Samu Costa out to Maffeo. Maffeo into Samu Costa. Costa back to Maffeo. Lovely ball there from Maffeo into Sergi Darder. He turns around. He cuts in. And he just loses it there. Celta Vigo playing from out the back. Getting chased down by Maffeo. It could be dangerous here for Celta Vigo. Alvarez tries putting in the pass. He slips. Lucky for him. It falls perfectly to Celta Vigo. What can they do from here? Here's Lopez. He plays out wide. It's back to Lopez. Lopez out right to Rueda. Rueda into Lopez. And in the end, Celta Vigo play it back and slow down the play. Lovely ball here from Celta Vigo. Now they can drive forward. And it's good defending in the end. And I think the referee's awarded a goal kick. It's good defending from Pablo Maffeo. I believe there was a bit of a brawl in the penalty area box. We'll take a look at the replay here. I don't know who it is. It's Antonio Rayo. He just falls over. He falls over. And he takes down Williot. It's good defending there from Maffeo. And you can obviously see that Maffeo clears it. And in the end, the referee awarded a free kick for Real Mallorca. And I mean, I'm definitely quite surprised by that decision from the referee. If anything, I think it was a foul for Celta Vigo. Here's Leo Roman. Leo Roman playing it forward. Looking for Antonio Sanchez. He is going to chase the ball down. He's going to pressure Aidu. Lovely skill there from Aidu. Vedam Muriqi also puts on the pressure. And it's going to be a throw-in for Celta Vigo. And that defense so far for Celta Vigo. Those three centre-backs have been astonishing out there today. It's been a brilliant performance from them. And they're just not allowing Real Mallorca to create any danger. Now a throw in for Real Mallorca, and you can see what Celta Vigo think about that decision. Martin Valgent back to Leo Roman. Samu Costa gives away a very dangerous pass. And luckily for Real Mallorca, Martin Valgent had it covered. It was Williot who had a really good chance, but he just sort of gave up on the ball. Now Samu Costa into Gianvirgili. He's got Dani Lato on his left. What can he do from here? Gianvirgili skips past his man, but the second defender managed to clear it. A throw-in for Real Mallorca. Now here's Raillo into Leo Roman. Samu Costa. Omar Mascarell back to Samu Costa. Omar Mascarell into Valgent. Valgent into Tony Lato. Back to Valgent. They've looked a lot better in the second half of Real Mallorca, and possession-wise, they're also starting to look a lot better. In the second half, it's been 50% possession for Real Mallorca and 50% for Celta Vigo. So you can see the improvement in the second half. Definitely a lot better. And Alvarez is just on the ground here. He looks hurt. He is back up on his feet. You can see on the sidelines that Johan Mojica is starting to get ready for Real Mallorca. So by the looks of it, there could be a substitution made very soon for Real Mallorca, and for Celta Vigo, not good news for Real Mallorca, as Borja Iglesias is also looking to get ready to come on. Now Gian Virgili out wide to Omar Mascarell. Omar Mascarell looking for Maffeo. And there's a bit too much on that pass. It is a deflection. So it's going to be a corner kick for Real Mallorca. And now finally a proper chance for Real Mallorca to get something from this. You can see Tony Lato and Vedran Muriqi having a word there. And if there is ever a chance to get something from this for Real Mallorca, it's this one. A corner in the 65th minute. Can they make anything from it? It's Sergi Darder putting in the cross. He looks to put it in. It's cleared by Celta Vigo. Tony Lato, the rebound falls to him. He plays it into Sergi Darder. Sergi Darder cutting in, trying to put in the cross. And nothing comes from that. Real Mallorca are going to restart the play. Here's Gian Virgili. He takes it back to Leo Roman. Leo Roman playing the long ball, and now, watch out, what touch that is there from Samu Costa. And it was almost a brilliant chance for Real Mallorca. His touch just let him down. There was too much on it, and it was a brilliant pass from Leo Roman. Now here's Celta Vigo on the counter-attack. It's well defended by Real Mallorca. Now it's their go again. Here's Gian Virgili on the left. He's surrounded by players. He tries to slow down the play. He ends up getting taken down, and now Celta Vigo are back in possession. It was Rueda who took the ball from him. Now here's Alvarez on that left-hand side. What can he do? Here's Alvarez. He plays it back into Vecino. Vecino attempting the long shot. And far, far too wide. The shot from Vecino. Safe to say the ball is going to land in the Vecinos. So now Celta Vigo to make 3 substitutions and Real Mallorca to make 2. So 5 substitutions to be made here. And first it's going to be Real Mallorca. Tony Lato comes off, and replacing him is going to be Johan Mojica. And then Omar Mascarell coming off, and replacing him is going to be Manu Morlanes. And for Celta Vigo, there's going to be 3 substitutions. One of them is going to be Jutgla, number 9, coming off, and replacing him is going to be Borja Iglesias, the goal scorer for Celta Vigo. 10 goals so far this season for Borja Iglesias. I'm still waiting to see who the other substitutions are. Referee stops the play. And I'm not quite sure what he's checking. Now the play continues. I'm still not quite sure who the other two substitutions were, but until then, Real Mallorca are going to break forward here. It's Antonio Sanchez. He tries putting in the cross, but he just ends up giving it right to Radu, sorry. He ends up giving it right to the goalkeeper. What chance that was there for Real Mallorca. Now here's Celta Vigo. And he ends up getting taken down. Samu Costa. Alvarez just commits the foul on him. He does so well, the tackle from Samu Costa there. Then he gets the ball back. And how brilliant has he been? Samu Costa in this matchup for Real Mallorca. And the other substitutions were Fer Lopez coming off. And replacing him was Iago Aspas. So those were all the substitutions made there in a quick sequence for Celta Vigo. Now playing the long ball. And it's Johan Mojica defending up against Javi Rueda. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. Trying to take it forward. Another throw-in for Real Mallorca. We're 17 minutes in here now, so just 20 minutes left to go before the full-time whistle. And so far, Celta Vigo 0 and Real Mallorca 0. Well defended there by Martin Valgents. Playing out wide. Now Celta Vigo can make something from this. Here's Iago Aspas trying to take the shot off. It's blocked by Maffeo. He keeps it in play. Very good defending from Maffeo. And Antonio Sanchez just not sure what to do with the ball. And he gives a throw into Celta Vigo in a dangerous position. Here's Moriba. Moriba back to Aidu. Another substitution also made earlier, which I missed, was Vecino off for Moriba. Now Celta Vigo trying to put in the cross, looking for anyone in the box. Leo Roman comes out and gets his fist on it. Celta Vigo claim a penalty there. The play's going to continue in the meantime. The referee stops the play now. And it's Williot who's on the ground for Celta Vigo. And we'll take a look at the replay. The cross goes in from Alonso. Javi Rueda puts in another cross with his head. Leo Roman leaps out to get his fists on it. And I mean, I'm not quite sure what the rule is when it comes to in the goalkeeper's box, but he definitely hits him. He doesn't hit him with his arms or anything like that. It's just as he leaps up. It's not going to be a penalty, but he definitely does make contact with him, Leo Roman. So now it's going to be a drop ball for Celta Vigo, and the play is going to continue. A throw-in for Celta Vigo, and a draw in this matchup, if they do manage to get it for Real Mallorca, is a decent result. It's actually a great result if you look at the performance that Real Mallorca have put in out here today. So now Celta Vigo still in possession. Here's Aidu. Aidu playing it through the middle. Giambirigili putting on the pressure. Oh, lovely play here from Celta Vigo. Can they make anything from this? Playing out wide into Alvarez. Alvarez plays it back to Roman. Here's Alvarez on that left-hand side. It's well defended by Real Mallorca. And it's going to be a free kick for Mallorca. And brilliant defending by Antonio Sanchez. And Alvarez, who was so effective in that first half, was so dangerous. Now in the second half, just doesn't have as much rhythm. And there's only 15 minutes left to go here now. And Celta Vigo getting more and more desperate to look for that goal. Now playing the long ball. Real Mallorca do manage to keep it in play. Samu Costa gets taken down. Muriqi gets it back. Here's Maffeo. Maffeo into Samu Costa. And in the end, a throw-in for Celta Vigo. And by the looks of it, there's going to be 2 substitutions made for Real Mallorca. But until then, the play is going to continue for Celta Vigo. Trying to play the long ball. Mojica intercepts the pass. Here's Sergi Darder into Giambirigili. What can he make from this? Giambirigili back to Sergi Darder. He tries playing out wide. It doesn't work out. And Samu Costa, not quite sure what he was attempting there. But he gives away the goal kick. Coming on is going to be Pablo Torre and Mateo Joseph for Real Mallorca. Coming off is going to be Giambirigili. He's had a quiet night so far, Giambirigili. Usually a player we see very, very effective on that left wing for Real Mallorca. But out there today, he's just been so quiet. He's going to come off, and replacing him is going to be Pablo Torre. And then also coming off for Real Mallorca is going to be Vidal Muriqi. And replacing him is going to be Mateo Joseph. So those are the 2 substitutions made for Real Mallorca. And Celta Vigo are going to drive forward. Here's Alonso. We saw Pablo Torre last time out. Son Mosh made an impact for his side. Now here's Celta Vigo trying to take it forward. What a chance for Williams. A brilliant block and brilliant defending from Real Mallorca, and a big chance there for Williams to get the goal for Celta Vigo. Here's Aidu playing it short, playing out wide. On the right hand side is Rueda. Rueda into Iago Aspas. Here's Alvarez, tries putting in the cross into that second post. But in the end, it rolls out of play. There's the chance there. Alvarez playing it into Williams. What a block there by Antonio Raillo. And I will say, Alvarez, brilliant pass from him, and he's been very, very strong on that left-hand side out there today. He's created a lot of danger for Celta Vigo. Now here's Radu. Radu playing it short into Alonso. 12 minutes left to go here now before the full-time whistle. And I mean, if Real Mallorca can hold on to this and get a draw, then that will be a great result for them. It really, really has been poor from Real Mallorca today. Now substitution for Celta Vigo. Javi Rueda coming off. And replacing him is going to be Ebdaloui. Here's Real Mallorca. Playing it into Martin Valgent. Martin Valgent into Leo Roman. Back to Martin Valgent. He tries playing it long. It doesn't work out. He gives away a throw-in to Celta Vigo. Good tackle there by Mateo Joseph. Now Real Mallorca have the ball. Sergi Darder tries playing it forward. Mateo Joseph again with a brilliant interception. Good work there from Mateo Joseph. And giving the throw in into Mateo Joseph. He just gets out strength there by Aidu. And now giving away the ball in a dangerous position. Celta Vigo. And a shame Rabaga couldn't make the most of that chance. Now a foul committed. The play is going to continue. Celta Vigo break on the counter-attack. It's a chance here for Celta Vigo. And Ebdaloui gets the shot off. He tries looking for that second post, but it just goes a bit too wide for him. There was the foul error earlier committed from Manu Morlanes on Williot. But it wasn't awarded. The referee let the play continue. Borja Iglesias plays it into Ebdaloui. Ebdaloui cuts in, gets the shot off. And it goes far too wide for him. Good effort from Celta Vigo. Now playing the long ball, looking for Mateo Joseph. Samu Costa tries to leap up and get the header. Celta Vigo is going to retake the free kick. Samu Costa and Moriba just getting into a bit of a brawl there. So now playing the long ball into Ebdaloui. Here's Ebdaloui up against Mojica. He tries putting in the cross. It's going to be a corner kick. The Celta Vigo fans there were claiming a handball. And I mean, it does hit him on the hand, but I think his hand is just in a natural position. I'm not sure if it would be awarded. Nowadays, you don't really know how the rules work. It's not going to be awarded. And it's going to be a corner kick in the end. But you just never know with these rules nowadays. Realistically, they just make up whatever they want, in my opinion. So now here's Alvarez trying to put in the cross, and it almost falls to Moriba. And the referee's pointed. And it's going to be a free kick. It looks like, in the end, I'm not quite sure if the referee's awarded a penalty or a free kick. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a penalty for Celta Vigo. You can just see a very, very unnecessary pull there from Antonio Raillo. He pulls back Borja Iglesias. To be fair, I don't know if there's a law on it. I'm not sure. You'd have to take another look at the replay. The referee, obviously, it's going to be checked. And the referee is having a look at the minute. I'm just not sure. I need to take a look at the replay again. It's a bit harsh. It doesn't look like there's a law on it, but if he does pull Borja Iglesias, then it's so unnecessary from Antonio Raillo. And I mean, there's only about 6 minutes and a half left to go. Why would he pull Borja Iglesias there? Again, it's going to be checked. I'm not sure if there's a law on it or not. It needs to be checked. It needs to be looked at. I want to see another replay on that. And they're taking their time. And I'd love to see another replay on it, and they're just not showing it at the minute. The referee is still checking. I think the penalty is going to stand, and by the looks of it, it is. And I mean, what a poor giveaway from Antonio Rayo to give away that penalty. And now Iago Aspas steps up. Can he put it away? Iago Aspas. And Leo Roman almost makes the save. But Iago Aspas puts it into that bottom left corner. And Leo Roman, how did he not get to that? He dives the right way. It's not a powerful penalty. And Real Mallorca can't quite believe their eyes. And I mean, what a poor giveaway from Antonio Rayo. It's so uncalled for to give away the penalty there. And Iago Aspas, he just places it far too well. I mean, Leo Roman, he does dive the right way, but it's just placed far too well, to be fair to Leo Roman. He dives the right way. He makes a good effort. It's a good penalty from Iago Aspas. And I mean, what's a giveaway from Real Mallorca. The performance today out here has just been awful. One of the worst I've seen all season. And to give away a penalty like that, I mean, it's so silly from Antonio Rayo. So silly. And he just gets back. He replaces David Lopez out there today. He's been performing brilliant. And I mean, he needs to prove his place. He comes on, he does that. It's just so poor from him. There's no need to pull on Borja Iglesias that way. There's no need to pull his arm in the penalty area box with just about 6 minutes left in the match. So now the play continues. And 4 minutes left here now. And Real Mallorca in possession. They'd be lucky to get an equalizer. Here's Martin Valgent into Samu Costa. Back to Martin Valgent. Manu Morlanes out wide. Playing it to Manu Morlanes. Martin Valgent. Here's Mojica. Mojica into Samu Costa. Back to Mojica. Lovely ball there from Mojica, looking for Pablo Torre. It was a lovely cross, and it is going to be a corner for Real Mallorca. So now a corner for Real Mallorca, and the referee's running over to the sidelines. And Jacob Arrasate is going to receive a yellow card. The manager for Real Mallorca. So now a corner for Real Mallorca. Putting it in the end, it doesn't work out for them. So now Pablo Torre into Samu Costa. Samu Costa tries. Putting in the cross. Now Borja Iglesias. And a foul for Celta Vigo committed by Martin Valgent. And 88 minutes in here now. And it's going to be a free kick for Celta Vigo, and to say the least, they're going to take their time. Celta Vigo playing it back to Radu. Radu into Rodriguez. Rodriguez playing up forward. And they find Javi Rueda. Not Javi Rueda, sorry. Balambui. So now here's Celta Vigo. Alvarez. Back to Alonso. Alonso into Aidu. Celta Vigo holding on to that ball. Not giving it away. And now, lovely play here from Balambui. Here's Balambui. He gets a shot off. Leo Roman makes the save. And he plays into Thiago Aspas. Leo Roman gets in a goal line clearance from Real Mallorca. How did he do that? Leo Roman gets his fist on it. He clears it. And the ball somehow goes backwards. And then Pablo Maffeo just leaps up. He gets his toe on it and clears it off the line. How does the ball go backwards? Leo Roman punches it, but it goes backwards. I just think Borja Iglesias gets a touch on it. So now another corner awarded to Celta Vigo as they took that one quickly. Thiago Aspas and Borja Iglesias are going to take the corner. Here's Thiago Aspas. Celta Vigo attempting the shot. It goes wide. And it's going to be a goal kick. There's going to be 6 minutes added on of extra time. More than I thought. So, a bit of a chance for Real Mallorca. But at the minute, it's not looking like the result is going to change. They get the ball back. And in the end, a free kick for Real Mallorca. They're going to take it quickly. Here's Martin Valgent. Into Samu Costa. Just about 4 minutes left here now. And Real Mallorca don't look like they're going up a lot. And I mean, they have a lot of players back and they need to be going up forward. In the end, a foul committed by Johan Mojica. And he's going to pick up a yellow card. And a bit of a brawl there between Mojica and Roman, as Rodriguez is still on the ground for Celta Vigo. Take a look at the replay here. It's definitely a foul from Mojica. He obviously goes for the ball, but it's the follow through. It's definitely a yellow card. And Rodriguez is still on the ground here. And he's just being checked by the medics. Rodriguez. You can see what Real Mallorca think of that as he's taking quite some time. There's the save there from Leo Roman. And again, I'd just love to see a penalty, a replay on that penalty, as they never did show it. And we're going to talk about it after kickoff, but it's really unnecessary from Antonio Reyes, so unnecessary. And also, I think, if I take a look at the replay, I think it was really, really soft. But again, I'll have to take a look again after. So now, Real Mallorca, Johan Mojica clearing up forward. Celta Vigo still in possession. They take it all the way back to Radu. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca in their own half of the pitch with 2 minutes left to go. And every minute that goes by, it's closer to those 3 points for Celta Vigo. Real Mallorca driving forward. Here's Pablo Maffeo. And he had quite a successful run there, but in the end he just ends up giving it away. So a throw-in for Celta Vigo. So now here's Celta Vigo driving forward, playing it into Iago Aspas, who gets the shot off. And he puts it into the back of the net, Iago Aspas. Leo Roman gets a touch on it. And a brace for Iago Aspas in this matchup. And that's 2-0 to Celta Vigo. And by the looks of it, that is going to be the end of this matchup. That's the 3 points secured for Celta Vigo. A terrible, terrible performance from Real Mallorca out there today. Iago Aspas flicks it on there. Lovely ball from him. It's Williot. He drives forward. He gives a lovely ball into Iago Aspas. It's just such poor defending there by Antonio Rayo. Really poor defending. He just doesn't close him down. Martin Valgent doesn't chase Iago Aspas. There's just too much room for them to play forward. And it's just seriously, seriously poor defending out there today. And the performance from Real Mallorca has been so, so poor. And the ball goes out of play. We've hit the 96th minute, but I'm guessing the referee will let 1 more minute play on. So now here's Martin Valgent out wide to Maffeo. America putting on the pressure, trying to make something from this. In the end, a free kick for Celta Vigo. And the referee awards, runs over to someone. He runs over to Antonio Rayo and hands out a yellow card to him. And I'm not quite sure why. The ball wasn't in play, so I'm not sure why he was awarded that. I believe it was something to do with Borja Iglesias. The play continues now. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. Now Leo Roman playing it forward. Here's Real Mallorca. And giving away a poor pass to Celta Vigo. Here's Iago Aspas. He's going to slow down the play. Playing it forward. Celta Vigo getting the shot off. And another big save by Leo Roman. And the defending by Real Mallorca is so poor. And the referee blows for the full-time whistle. And that is the full-time whistle here at the Balaida Stadium. Samu Costa stays on the ground, quite hurt by the looks of it. The medics come onto the pitch to check on Samu Costa. And a brace out there today for Iago Aspas. And I mean, I'm just going to say it, obviously, I think if it wasn't for that penalty given away by Antonio Rayo, this was ending in a 0-0. It would have been a really, really important point for Real Mallorca. But in the end, they just gave away the match. And if the first half, wasn't bad enough, in the second half, they went out there and they started to look a bit better, but it just still was really poor. They started to get a bit more possession. They didn't have any chances, but it was at least looking a lot better. But even so, they went out there, and with 5 minutes left to go, they can't be giving away an easy penalty like that. And I mean it when I say that is the worst performance I've seen from Real Mallorca all season. And I mean, CELTA Vigo, 20 shots with 7 on target. It's not great from their offensive play. They weren't really dangerous, but they were a lot better. And for Real Mallorca, 1 shot with 0 on target. Not a single shot on target all match. 0.04 expected goals in that matchup, and I mean it. That is the worst performance I've seen all season. I mean, there was no creative play. There was no play going forward offensively. Defensively, it was poor. The midfield didn't help. Everything was terrible out there today. The only thing I can say that was good, I think Leo Roman put in a good match. He put in some really good saves, and also think Samu Costa played well defensively. He was pretty strong, putting in good tackles, and that's it. The rest was so poor, and the team display out there today is the worst I've seen from Real Mallorca, and I don't think there's anything more to talk about. I think it was really poor. I think the referee was really, really harsh on Real Mallorca out there today, and I mean, handing out 2 yellow cards, one for Muriqi on his first foul, which, I mean, you're a striker. You're going up to get your head on it. You put your elbows out naturally. I never think it's a yellow card. And then also, the second yellow card on Tony Lato, it's his first foul, and I mean, it's not a terrible, reckless foul. So again, I think the referee was a bit harsh, but he doesn't change the result of the matchup. And again, I want to look for a replay on that penalty, because I just think it was really, really soft. And I'm not quite sure if the penalty was fair from the referee. But either way, the referee awarded the penalty. I mean, for me, it's just never, ever a penalty. I think it's really unfair from the referee. I mean, he barely even touches Borja Iglesias. He goes down far too easily, and in the box, that's just never a penalty. I will say Antonio Rayo, either way, just needs to be a bit more careful, especially, when there's 5 minutes left to go. I will say it's never a penalty, in my opinion, never. I just think it's unfair to give away that penalty. But, penalty or not, the performance was terrible out there today. Iago Aspas even went on and scored another in the 90th. So, I mean, would it have mattered? Would it have not? I don't know. I think if CELTA Vigo didn't get that penalty, it could have potentially been a 0-0 out there today. Either way, on Real Mallorca's part, really bad. The players that came on from the bench just didn't bring on the energy that Real Mallorca needed. I think the only one that was half decent was Johan Mojica, and the rest, I mean, just weren't there. And for CELTA Vigo, I don't particularly think they were super dangerous up front. Like, offensively, they didn't do much at all. But, defensively, they were very strong. I mean, very, very strong. They didn't let Real Mallorca do anything. So fair play to them. And when Real Mallorca had the ball, they put on the pressure very well, forced Real Mallorca to lose it quite a lot out there today. I think Celta Vigo put in a good performance overall, but offensively they didn't put in a good performance. So I think it's a shame that Real Mallorca conceded those 2 goals. And, you know, when it comes to the bench didn't do much for Celta Vigo either, except, obviously, for that one player, Iago Aspas, you know, one of the highest all-time top goal scorers for Celta Vigo. He's got experience in this field when it comes to scoring. But, again, you know, the penalty was never a penalty. Second goal is a good goal, and it's just poor defending from Real Mallorca. So what does the 3 points mean out there today for Celta Vigo? That puts them in 6th place with 37 points on the table, so really important points for them, putting them in a Conference League position. And for Real Mallorca, it keeps them in 24 points. 18th place, still sitting in that relegation zone. A point would have at least crawled them out. A point would have been important. But they couldn't manage to get it. And I mean, if they would have managed to get the 3 points, it would have been huge for them. They would have crawled quite some space away from that relegation zone. So yeah, that is going to be the end of today's live stream from me. Overall, I mean, you know, what can we say? A really, really poor result. Celta Vigo, really, really good performance out there today. They just wouldn't let Real Mallorca play with the ball. The pressure was great. The defensive was great. Offensively, they weren't super strong, but, you know, they did enough where they managed to score 2 goals. Again, the penalty for me, never. But either way, fair play to Celta Vigo for a good performance out there today, and a shame for Real Mallorca, you know, poor in all areas, just terrible team performance. So that is going to be the end of today's live stream from me here. I've been your host for today, Daniel Armstrong. Thank you so much for tuning into today's YouTube Play Red channel live matchup, where we had Real Mallorca facing up against Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo 2, Real Mallorca 0. We'll see you next week, next Saturday, here at the Son Moss Stadium, where hopefully we can see a better result up against a Real Sociedad side that, when it comes to playing away from home, they've not been the strongest this season, so hopefully we're in for a better matchup. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to the YouTube Play Red channel. Also, make sure to follow us on our English Twitter page if you are new to the Real Mallorca YouTube page. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night.